Hey guys, still August 29th. Bad thing about making these videos on my phone is that I get calls in the middle of them. That call is actually from the neuromedical center. I missed an appointment a while back, and they're charging me $35, so I didn't get to go see the neurologist, but I'm gonna have to pay for it. I'm gonna make an appointment because they're ripping up the back of my neck. It feels like the nerves and the muscles are just torn up, like somebody's just really stabbed me with a knife in my spine. And then the back of my head, that's what they work on during the night most of the time. And then this morning I did, one of my Q-Wave personal defenders went out in the night, and the high-pitched sound was just screeching in my ears, the EHF. Just a bad night all around last night. It's just, I am apologetic about what I did on Neal's call. It's like I wasn't even there. I was just trying to talk about the plugs and just, give some people something to defend themselves. And I guess I lost it. People were trying to kind of fight me on if they worked or not. And they were just talking calmly. But it's just I have this urgency because it's hurting me so bad. It's hurting my family. And I just know that, I don't know, I've just, I haven't really met a lot of people who've committed suicide in my life. And I know a lot of TIs do, and I talked to Corey a bunch, and just something kind of just snapped at that point when I heard that news. Something snapped in me, and it hit a little bit too close to home. Not that I'm going to commit suicide or anything like that, but this sense of urgency, became overwhelming. And I know that TIs take their lives, and, get murdered from these DEW weapons, and in other ways by this program. But to have talked to one very closely, to know him closely. We never met, but we talked on the conference calls all the time. So I don't know. I've got to figure that out myself. Just a horrible display. And Neal was right on the money. He was like, yes. He wasn't laughing at me, but I broke in. I interrupted the man, and he muted me, and he was just spot on. He was just like, sometimes they really hurt us, and and he moved on with the call. Just really, awesome. Just an awesome guy. And just I'm just that's kind of a wake-up call to me, because he works so hard to put these calls on and give people help, and then he's got all these perps doing all this weird stuff. They were doing like a computer voice coming through one of the lines, saying all this weird stuff, and he has to deal with that, and then I do something like that. He unmutes me, and he trusts me as a TI who makes videos and tries to help people, and then I do something like that. This stuff is very hard. I look up to him. I look up to these moderators. I'm gonna try and make up for it. If I can find that man that I interrupted, I'm definitely gonna apologize to him. It's just an awful display. I find though that the ability to do that in me has made me able to survive this, to just be like, man, I was just way off. We're gonna be way off on this stuff sometimes. It's so hard, it's so deceitful. I don't even know what's going on upstairs in my condo. There's tapping, and then a loud sound like somebody's getting off a bed, and then right when I go to use the bathroom, somebody pours stuff right down in the pipes into my toilet from upstairs. I thought I saw the guy walking in. I thought it was just a guy, but it could, they could be doing anything. It's like they could just have somebody go over there when I'm looking at the place, because there's so much money involved in this crap, to make me look crazy, to discredit me. So it's just dealing with a lot. And I haven't really gotten any vehicular stalking on tape. I got two examples. It's kind of around me like all the time. Kind of around me like all the time. It is around me all the time, a lot, all the time. But yeah, I can't apologize enough. I sent Skizzit an email. Just, gotta admit that I was just way off. And Neal really called it. I don't want to do those types of things. I do feel a sense of urgency, and I do kind of want to get good in an aggressive way, but that was just way off, and it makes us look bad. And Neal kind of counts on TIs like me to enrich the call, not sit there and say somebody who's trying to tell what they're using their defenses, like, he's not saying anything. He's not. I just wasn't getting anything out of what he was saying, but I'm sure a lot of people were. So I guess I'll drop that now. But just Neal's calls are really great. It's the talk shoe number, and I can't remember the number. But leave a comment below. I'll leave the code for his calls. They're just really great, and there's a lot of ideas for defenses. And people discuss what works and what doesn't work. And he's really good. He's really good at moderating the call. I need it to be muted. I really need it to be muted. I don't know what, I was just this sense of urgency took over, and I was like, I gotta tell people about these plugs. They've got to use these plugs. They've got to, they do work, and, everybody else was calm. As calm as we can be as TIs, which is the right way to be. So we don't get all flared up, because they're already kind of pumping remote neural monitoring into us and hitting us with directed energy weapons. I can't believe I did that. And I really respect Neal a lot. I really respect Skizzit. They do so much for TIs. Her videos are great. Skizzit Gesture, her YouTube videos. So I want to go ahead and plug that and plug his call, because they really, really help TIs. And I think he knows. I mean, he understands, because he goes through some heavy shit too. And I think he did. He immediately understood. He just muted me. And he's like, yeah, we go through hard shit sometimes. Just handled it. Just very classy guy. And what he's gone through, in his targeting, he's a classy guy. Just top notch. Alright, so I don't know what I've gotten on vehicular stalking today. I got a couple of one-light cars. Wish I could have gotten that private plane. Always, try and have your phone kind of ready to pull out. Sometimes I do, I'll have it ready, but then I'll pull it out and the autofocus will be off, because they mess with the camera. There's one light truck right there, but it's good to just have it out. And there's one light truck right there, in between those. See him? Because the other day, I made a video, I couldn't pull my phone out fast enough, and there's a light change on me. Couldn't pull it out fast enough, but there were 3 fire marshals, there was two plain white cars, and then an SUV fire marshal. There were 3 in a row driving around me. And there's this will be a good place to kind of stop and get some vehicular stalking. An SUV right across from me with one light. I talked to a TI today, and I've got to get him on the phone. Let's see what they look like. Probably look like asshats. Just really, the stuff that these people, it's amazing, because, I really want to apologize to this guy just for interrupting him, and the stuff that these people, are accusing me of, and lying about me it's so funny, the dichotomy of what I am, and then what they're trying to make me out to be, for their false flag. it's just amazing. I mean, they see it that like I interrupted a guy and I can't, like with the remote neural monitoring, they see that I'm like, God, I gotta apologize to that guy. I gotta apologize to Neal. Even though I'm being murdered, and everybody understood probably the guy that I interrupted was like, I understand, man. That guy's in a bad way, and he's just he probably just let it go immediately. Neal knew exactly what to do. He muted me, but I still, I still feel really bad about that, because if a TI is saying, what he's using, he's trying to get information out and talk on a call, that is horrible, horrible behavior. And I just want to apologize to him. If he watches my videos, I'm sorry, man. Like, I really, just awful behavior. And it's like, we're being murdered, and it's such a weird situation, because we're being murdered, so you have this sense of urgency, but we've got to have these calls, and you've got to balance it with what society sees. So it's a very hard balance. I was talking to Ti today, who, he lives in California, and they're hitting him so hard. I mean, he was saying, what I'm saying, that it's a military killing at this point, and he's trying to move now. I got to talk to him. I hope his stalking gets a lot less. They're going really hard on him. But like moving really doesn't work. It's like they've got a network just set up just around the world, and it's like, I mean, we're doing good though. I mean, awareness, we're getting out awareness. Y'all can tell today I'm so discombobulated. I did drink last night, which is just awful when you're getting targeted. It's just a bad idea. I gotta just get some kratom. Kratom helps. It's like a kind of a middle of the road thing that helps with pain, and it's just a little herb, and then I don't have to drink or anything. I never get to that point where it's like an emergency situation. Well, I mean, I get to the point where it's an emergency situation, and then I just take some kratom and try and tone it down. I have been taking copper. I've been taking copper. I don't really notice that big of a change. But me and a friend were talking about RH negative and RH positive. How I forget which one. I think it's RH negative is resistant to this stuff, and RH positive is not resistant, because RH negative has more copper in their blood, and it resists a lot of this electromagnetic frequency stuff. I'm not sure about that theory, and I think I may have mixed up the RH negative and RH positive, but it would kind of make sense, because my dad is the one without copper, and my mom is the one with a lot of copper, that blood type, and she's an O blood type. He's an AB positive, so it must be RH positive is the one that is not resistant. But see, so I think I have half and half, and it would explain why he had an aneurysm so fast, like 1 week of the torture. So it is an interesting theory, but just a theory right now for me. That a friend told me about. I don't know how I'd be able to study it more. I guess I'll read about it some, look on the internet, and if you do think that you are RH positive and don't have a lot of copper in your blood, you might want to try copper. It hasn't hurt anything. It hasn't hurt anything that I know of. There's one light truck. Might kind of get a little bit more vehicular stalking on the way back to the place where I get kratom. I just get it from a head shop, and I'll get like a quantity of like 60 for like $75. No, quantity of 60 for like $75. It's kind of expensive. I'll get it in capsule form, and I usually get the red vein kratom, because it's the one used for pain. and it really does work. It